Welcome to the Coop and Coop podcast. I'm here with my brother St John. He's visiting on his annual holiday. He's all the way over from Dubai. He is with his long-standing, long-suffering friend Martin Homburger, who also lives in Dubai. He makes a shitload of money. Hello, Martin.
Hey.
Duck is having a cigarette outside. We tried to podcast earlier in the evening. For whatever reason, it didn't work out. But now it's currently 5 to 11. We're in the Murderers in Norwich, and I think it's now the perfect opportunity for us to reflect on what has happened this evening.
Absolutely.
It's an old cliche, but really it was a game of two halves.
Yeah, I'm feeling as sick as a parrot, or is that another cliche? No, Chris, the problem is today, schoolboy errors. Hanley not good enough, not clinical enough. Remove those from the game, it's a different game.
Well, yeah, 100%. Look, the fact is that we started the game fairly well. In the first 10 minutes, we had 60% possession.
Yeah, we were playing out from the back, we looked confident.
Origi is being defended by Max Aarons, who's showing him down the line, I think, from what I remember. Origi puts in a cross, it falls to Hanley, who should deal with it comfortably. He completely mishits his clearance.
He panics.
And it's, to be honest, it's a cracking finish from him.
It was a championship.
Unsavable.
It was a championship centre half kind of.
Well, listen. The fact is that Grant Hanley hasn't started a game for us in a long time. I think the last time Grant Hanley was starting football matches for Norwich was when we were shipping 4 goals at home against teams like West Brom. Bearing that in mind, how on earth was he going to do any better against the European champions?
Yeah,
but Farke's hand was forced. Tim Close is injured. Zimmerman's injured. Godfrey had a great game, I thought.
Godfrey had a great game. The left and right back, Jamal and Max, also solid.
Yeah, for sure. It's hard, but we've got to try and be a little bit chronological about this. So we're 1-0 down. Their second goal's a little bit fortuitous, you've got to say.
Yeah, but you make your own luck. We need to get rid of it.
Look, we need to get rid of it, but I respect the fact that we tried to play it out from the back. There was a few lucky, fortuitous touches, and then it falls to Salah. Of course, he's going to put it away. But I've got no truck with the first 2 goals, to be honest. Goal 3, Van Dijk scores unmarked from a header. He somehow seems to be matched up against who?
Aarons.
I think it was Jamal Lewis. Jamal Lewis. Now that is zonal defending. That is everything that I hate about zonal defending. You know, you put your biggest players on the biggest players, and you put your smallest players on the smallest players. You stop your man, and then
it was a free goal, Chris. Look, he jumped.
Last season, no one conceded more goals from corners in the Championship than Norwich. No one.
Well, nothing has changed. And against a Van Dijk, who, let's not forget, could have signed for Norwich a few years ago, we got no chance. And Krul, had no chance. In fact, he did nothing wrong all game.
Krul had a good game. But this is the thing. A few chances fall to Marco Stiepermann. He skies both of them. I'm not saying he should score both of them, but he should certainly work the keeper with both of them. And that bothers me. And then we're 3-0 down, and Liverpool haven't really had to work for it.
So injuries, closer, Stiepermann unlikely to be back next week, does Hanley keep his place? Or do you say that simply was not good enough and make a change? And if so, what should that change be?
Well, the new lad, the only change we could make would be to bring the new lad in. But I thought Hanley had a much better second half.
We did have a much better second half, but was that because we stepped it up, or was it because Liverpool stepped it down?
A little bit of both. After the first goal went in, Norwich's heads went down and we panicked. And the shots on goal from Norwich were just panicked the same way, and no one had the confidence to hold the ball and play it out. And they pressed and we panicked, and then before we knew it, we were 3-0 down. So I think the second half was I think Farke did a really good job. I think what were the positives from the game? Farke clearly had an ability to calm the team down in the second half and get them coming out with a positive mindset, and their confidence. Despite being 4-0 down, at half time, they came out in the second half and said, against the European champions, we can play a proper game of football. We can play them. And of course, Liverpool had their foot off the gas, but that's still a phenomenal second half.
It was great, and what I like is, we were talking about it earlier, does Pookie go home and he's lying in bed tonight and says, that's all right, I feel pretty good about that, or is he pissed off? And I think he'll go back and say, I feel good about that, because he did what he needed to do.
I think the goal was crucial for him, considering the pre-season he's had.
I think it's also crucial for the team. I think if we could have lost that 6-0, and to come out and score and come 4-1, they're almost going to be going home on the flight, it's not the bus, thinking, actually, we can hold our own in this league.
Well, listen, we did better than Barcelona did. Barcelona lost 4-0.
Exactly.
What I like about what we did tonight is that we never shied away from our principles, and we played it out from the back through the entirety of the match. Now, a lot of people on social media are saying that's crazy. But what else are we meant to do? We're meant to do Chris Hughton?
No, I like playing it out from the back, and I think we did it well. And at times we went from box to box, and if we'd been more clinical, we could have scored. At the same time, there were occasions when we're playing it out from the back, we play it up to the middle of our own half, and we get pushed. And at that point, sometimes you have to say, let's just get it away.
Yeah.
Sometimes we were caught and...
Yeah, but also our chances that we created came from the bravery not to just suddenly smash it up into the air.
It was.
You know, I think the chances we created when we did go box to box is because we had the bravery to play it from the back. And when we got caught, you know, bearing in mind getting caught against arguably the greatest pressing team on the planet, I'm positive about it.
And a useful comparison is how many times in the last 10 years have Norwich lost very heavily to Liverpool? And those were teams, those are Norwich teams which were established in the Premier League, had much more experience than the team out today, and they were still beaten.
And Liverpool weren't as good.
Yeah, apart from Suarez, Liverpool were a weaker team, and Norwich were beaten more comprehensively. So that's a very helpful comparison.
A point I would like to ask you both, though, is Stiepermann. We took him off and brought on Mo Leitner. Stiepermann, we know, missed a few or skied or panicked or whatever, a few chances. We seem to look a more balanced team, a secure team, particularly going forward with Leitner, with his skill, with his touch, with his ball possession and with his passing. What happens next time? Is Stiepermann the right man, or should it be Leitner in that position?
Stiepermann's not good enough.
You don't think so?
No.
I don't think so either. I think it's a bench player. I think it's a good bench player.
I think the players who aren't good enough from tonight, which was clear to me, is Hanley and Stiepermann.
Yeah, I agree.
For me, I thought Leitner had a point to prove when he came on, and by all accounts, he proved it. And in defence of Farke, his hand was forced playing Hanley because he had no other fit centre-backs.
But no, Vrancic also, who was outstanding towards the end of last season and is one of our most skillful players, particularly with the set piece.
Yeah, but I thought Todd Cantwell was great tonight.
He was good tonight.
He was good, but how was Kenny McLean? I agree Todd Cantwell played well, and he played well pre-season. He deserves his place.
Yeah.
But what about Kenny McLean? From my looking back at the game, I can't remember what he did well. I can't remember what he did badly. It was kind of an innocuous performance.
He was a bit vanilla, yeah.
Yeah.
A bit of a Phil Neville performance.
So what did you think about Matt's two fullbacks?
I thought the fullbacks were unbelievable.
I
thought both fullbacks. I thought actually who surprised me, because I think you could say that Aaron's is the better of the two.
Yeah, he has
But I thought Jamal was fantastic tonight. He was leaving players for dead.
And he was calm in possession, turning players and then finding the...
Look, you could argue...
Up against
look,
two of the best foot attacking
Look,
fullbacks in Europe.
what I would say is outside Robertson and Alexander-Arnold, they're the two best fullbacks in the league.
Yeah, and talking of defence, I agree with you, Chris. Ben Godfrey as well. Absolutely.
He was fine.
He was absolutely fine.
Listen, if you break down our goals, the first one was a howler of an own goal, the second one was a little bit fortuitous, the third one was from zonal marking where Jamal ended up marking Van Dijk, and the fourth one was a free header, Origi. Hanley shied away from dealing with it and left Max Aarons against Origi, who was never going to win that duel. We didn't. That's the thing. It's not like Liverpool were unbelievably fluent going forward and blew us out of the water. They had 3 good chances, and they were 4-0 up because the first one was an OG. I mean, Krul made a good save, and I thought Krul was pretty good in goal tonight.
Last season, Chris, we made a lot of mistakes. Even pre-season, we made a few really bad mistakes. And at this level, we have to cut them out because we will get punished, and that's what happened tonight. And what worries me a little bit, although I think on tonight's performance and seeing how we have confidence and skill playing out from the back, the things we talked about, I definitely think there's worse teams in the league than there's probably at least 3. It doesn't matter, and I told you in the pub, whether we're playing Liverpool or Burnley, if we make mistakes like Hanley made, we will get punished.
It doesn't matter if it's Salah or Danny Ings or McGoldrick or whoever. If strikers have that space, they're going to score.
And if we don't pick up that zonal marking, that kind of cross which Van Dijk, we're going to continue to concede from those corners and those set pieces.
The zonal marking from corners bugs me. Like, I think zonal marking has its place, but when you end up with mismatches like we had tonight, I think it's unforgivable. But in Farke's defence, like you say, I mean, obviously Liverpool, they've won the game at half-time, so they're not going to come out with the same level of intensity that they started the first half with. But I thought for 20 minutes in the first half we were good. We created good opportunities. I'm really glad Pookie scored. I think we'll be fine.
We created the most opportunities of any team in the last 5 years against Liverpool.
Really? Where'd you read that?
It was on the stats at TV. Last team was Southampton in 2012.
Well, there you go. We're definitely staying up.
Well, let's hope we stay up. The test will come at our next game. Is it Newcastle at home, Chris?
Our season starts next week.
And that's where we're going to find out really where we are. We need to beat Newcastle.
Is
They
it
were
Newcastle,
appalling. They were appalling last season, and they got rid of their manager. I mean, who is their manager? Benitez
Steve
is
Bruce.
gone. Steve Bruce. I mean, you know, Norwich legend, but not a great Premier League manager.
No.
Good Championship manager.
No, it's a massive game. Look, I think there's enough positives to take out of tonight. I think our fullbacks look great. I thought Tribal looked fine. I thought Buendia looked good. I thought Camwell looked really good.
What about Hernandez?
I thought off the bench, he was fine. He was fine. I thought Pookie caused problems. I think we'll be fine. I genuinely think we'll be fine.
I have a message from a lifelong Liverpool fan from Dubai who says to me, you had some early naivety, but I think you'll be okay. You have a natural goal scorer, which is much more than most teams.
We'll be fine.
And that's a guy who runs a football coaching programme, big coaching programme from Liverpool,
you've heard it
based
from
in
the
Dubai.
top.
Heard it from the top. I mean, he coached Ian Rush.
Did he?